And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Travelodor Theatre here in Wembley, in England. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for the official weigh-ins of Boxer, brought to you in association with Wasserman Boxing. Welcome, everybody. What promises to be a phenomenal event tomorrow night at the SSE Arena here in Wembley, London, England. Before we begin, today's weigh-ins is sponsored by Wow Hydrate, the official hydration partner of Boxer, Bet365, Everlast, and Sports Direct. And of course, sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control with Chief Inspector Nigel Thomas and Chairman of the Board Charlie Giles in attendance. And before we begin, a big thank you to our founder and CEO of Boxer, Ben Shalom. And now it's time to begin with the official weigh-ins of Boxer. Introducing first a contest in the flyweight division. Please welcome Adam Yahaha. Adam Yahaha, 31 years old, standing 5 feet 1 inches tall. His record stands 21-6-2. And he weighed in officially at 141 pounds and 8 ounces.
This is a chance for these boys to shine, really, because it's a new stage, a new elevation. So one or two might be like rabbits in the headlights because the pressure's on them, but it's a good thing, especially at this stage in their career.
It's such an opportunity, Carl, on the big stage for them to shine.
Most definitely, you know, in front of a Sky Sports
Adam Yahaha weighed in
you
2
always
pounds
want to put a show
over.
on.
And
And these guys early on in their career, or wherever they are in their career, they want to be putting a show on this kind of a stage. So hopefully this will bring them up to that level they need to be at.
So Harvey, Johnny, he's 25 years old. It's still early days for him. He's 8-0. What are you looking to see from him tomorrow?
Harvey Horn, still early days for him, an elite amateur. A lot's expected of this young man coming through, but it takes time. And is it that way where he could be boxing for a world title any time soon? Because flyweight, of course, it's not that depth that's steeped in opponents, but it's in excellent condition.
We spoke to Harvey yesterday, and he's a really, really good talker. And I asked him, because the lower weights, typically, they don't really get as much spotlight shown on them, do they? And I think he really feels like this is his chance to shine a spotlight on that division.
You know, and it's about nearly every one of the fighters. It's a chance for them to try and steal the headlights, be the man. And so it doesn't matter, or woman, so it doesn't matter what weight you are. You know, you've got a chance to be the star. We saw it back in the days with the likes of with Prince Azim Hamid running it, and he was a lighter weight. So these guys know there's an opportunity there, and there's a gap there for them to take heed.
And Carl, both look in great shape.
Yep, both looking fantastic shape on the weight. Look at that 8-pack. It's been a long time since I've had one of them hovering around the midriff.
That's not true. You still train. Harvey, of course, trained by Mark Tibbs as well, Johnny. So
Sorry, Anne?
Harvey got Mark Tibbs in his corner as well, a really good trainer, an experienced trainer.
Mark Tibbs, obviously, we remember he was well involved with Dylan White for quite a while, and I've got a lot of respect for Mark Tibbs, so it's a good start, it's a great start.
So this is Reza Ali versus Stefan Nikolai. 6 rounds at super bantamweight tomorrow night. Reza Ali, what a story, Johnny.
You know, it's an amazing story, and with Stefan Nikolai, whatever he is, he's had 10-1 fights, he's only won 3, but he's got, Fraser Ali's got somebody in there that knows his way around the ring, that knows how to all-man someone, that knows how to pull the fight out on you. So it's a good fight for Reza. You know, it's his 4th professional fight. He's unbeaten. So it's just a case of how he negates his way around opponents like this. Yeah, and Reza's only 21 years old as well, so he's still young to try and. Where is he?
And what's the game plan, Carl? Like I say, still young, early days. Is it just to get some rounds, some more experience under your belt?
Yeah, he's only had 3 fights, Reza Ali. he's a really likeable character. Everyone who comes into contact with him gets on with him, enjoys his company. So, potentially, with the television behind him, with his style and his likeable personality, he's got a bright future. But he's got to do the business in the ring.
There's a great. He has got a great story. This young man is so grateful to be in this position, considering what his life was like outside the ring, and he walks about respectful to everybody. Wants to do a job. Nice character, very intelligent, articulate, and you like to see that in a young fighter.
And a great platform as well. A great platform to perform on.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, and I'll keep saying it. Every fighter on the bill has a chance to steal the limelight. This isn't the Chris Eubank Jr. show. Every fighter has a chance to nudge your way through, get notice, and build that fan base.
And then just talk a bit about that backstory, the great backstory. I mean, Razor was sleeping on the streets, wasn't he, several years ago? You can't quite believe it.
And he tells the story freely. He said, look, I've been there, I've been at rock bottom, and there's not many fighters that have been in his shoes. So when you get in the ring with him, remember that you're not just fighting a fighting man, as in with gloves, and you're fighting a man that wants to fight regardless, has to fight, has learned to survive when he's had to.
So Joe Vernozzi takes on Linus Udofia tomorrow evening. 10 rounds at middleweight, and a real breakout fight from Linus Udofia last time out.
Vernozzi's had 20 fights, 17 wins, only not 4 out, so he's not a banger, but he's a winner. He's used to getting in there, getting wins done. So, and at middleweight as well. Again, I'm always intrigued at what's at the stage of fighters like this at middleweight. He's 29 years old.
And his official weight, 155 pounds and 13 ounces.
He's inside it.
Well in the weight there.
And now welcome his opponent, Linus Udofia.
I mean, Carl, Linus, he always looks in phenomenal shape.
Yeah, well, look at the state of him here. I mean, great body on him, but he takes the sport seriously. And he's looking to do big things. In his head, he can go quite far. So, the reason he looks so good is because he takes the sport seriously. It's as simple as that.
And former English champion as well.
And Linus officially weighed in at 158 even.
Inside that 160 limit. We have a fight, Johnny.
We have a fight. Has he walked off? Is he doing a head-to-head? He's pretty tall for the weight as well. Where's he gone?
Linus has actually made no bones about it, that his next fight, he wants Felix Cash. That is his goal.
And this is how they've got to talk. They've got to talk about the fights they want, because if they don't, they're never going to. It's going to be harder for them to get the opportunity and easily be forgotten or passed over. Udofia's tall, rangy, 28 years old.
What are you looking to see from him, Carl, tomorrow evening?
Well, you mentioned the Felix Cash fight there. That's a great fight, and that'll be a tough fight and one we all want to see. Whether it happens, politics in boxing, won't go into that. But what I'm looking to see from him is just dominance, and what he does. He boxes well, and he looks to punch as well with his backhand. Quite solid. Just a nice, clinical, solid performance for him. He'll just maintain that unbeaten record.
Interesting fight, this one, Carl. A real chance for Joe Pigford to push on Saturday night.
And that's what he needs to do. He's had a long break out of boxing. A lot of people have. And this is a big opportunity for him back on Sky, back in the mix. So he'll be looking to put on a show.
Cocky fight yesterday when he was talking. He wants to come in here with serious intentions. 17 fights, 17 wins, 16 KOs. He can bang, and that's what he talks about. I want to knock people out and get this job done. So I like the noise he's making, believe it or not. I like the noise he's making because it makes him either loved or hated, makes him a target or somebody to be avoided.
Yeah, he seems extremely motivated, because back in 2019 he was on the brink of some really sort of quite big domestic fights, Carl. That didn't happen, gone away, come back, and now he wants to make up for some lost time.
Exactly, yeah. So he knows this is his opportunity now to put a show on. You got Ted Cheeseman, the British champion. That's a great fight. He's in the mix with some good names in this division. So he knows it's really important tomorrow night to come here and put on a show and put a performance on for himself more than anything else.
And how tough a test is Isaac A for him?
Okay, 35 fights, 26 wins, 24 of those by knockout, so he can punch. So you look at that record. So the problem is, if he's underestimated or the respect isn't given when they're in the ring, we'll see why he's got 24 knockouts out of his 26 wins, only been a distance twice, obviously. So Pickford now has got to be on his game, because now these are fights that nobody wants, and so he's got the height, Pickford. He's got the reach, serious intentions. They've been very, very stern all week, Team Pickford. So, yeah.
Well, Pickford can't overlook on Saturday night, but what's the goal, do you think, for him? A British title, would that be a realistic goal?
It's every fighter's goal. I hope that's not just his goal. I hope he wants bigger than that. You want to use British title as a stepping stone, along with you do it the traditional way, Commonwealth, European.
Introducing first to the scales, Jamal Ledoux.
So Jermaine Brown versus Jamal Ledoux, 10-round eliminator for the English super middleweight title. Now this has the potential to be a cracking fight, Carl.
Potentially, yeah. I could talk about myself in this one, if you wouldn't mind. This is the old English title that I fought Alan Page for. Similar age as well, 27-year-olds fighting for the English title. The English title you've got to take serious because it's a stepping stone then towards British title, and then the old-fashioned way was English, British, European, then on to world honours. So this is a big opportunity for him here to get a belt around his waist and then crack on from that. So I'm looking forward to this
and
one.
He's in there with Ledoux, who's 9 fights, 8 wins, 4 KOs, so he's no pushover. So again, at this stage here, these guys want to get through to that next step, get through to the British title standard, and show it. And at the age they're at, they're at serious 29 and 27. This is important because you can't really want to be afforded to lose at this stage for this level of fight if you want to do something with your career.
Well, I'll tell you who does rate Jermaine Brown, and that is your old mate, George Groves. He's been sparring him. He rates him highly. Yeah,
I can remember him saying, actually, he thinks a lot of Jermaine Brown, and you've got to take that as a real positive, and that's a good compliment coming from Grovesy boy, my old foe.
For Ledoux, though, he's had a fair bit of time out of the ring, isn't he? He hasn't boxed for a couple of years, so this is a real chance for him to throw his name back in the mix.
And that's said many times. Some people, it's voluntary, they just walk away from the game completely. Some people just live in the gym. And so for Ledoux and Brown, both these guys, there's no excuse, regardless of how much time they've had out. They've had time to prepare for this. Roughly about the same height, roughly about the same stage of their career, age-wise, everything's pretty even, pretty good. I remember Cole being at this level, and I think he boxed my friend Damien Haig just after that, and he broke a few hearts in Winkerbank. So it might not mean a big thing to world stage, but at this level it means a lot to gym mates and people like that.
So Johnny, your old division, cruiserweight, Mikhail Lawal versus Benoit Hubert, this one.
Yeah, Lawal, I'm very familiar with Lawal as well. He's a big unit, and I've seen him spar with he's used as a sparring partner for a lot of the heavyweights. This guy can fight, but he just seems to have slid under the radar now. So this one here, this might be his coming out point to say, I want to be in this mix again. I want people to consider me when you talk about the likes of Richard Riakporhe, Isaac Chamberlain, Lawrence Okoli. So for both fighters, they want to try and make an impact.
Well, Lawal, he's actually sparred Usyk. I mean, what a performance we saw from Usyk on Saturday night, an absolute masterclass that he produced. But sparring the likes of Usyk, how much confidence will that give you, and how much will you learn, Carl?
Yeah, when you're sparring top professionals and you build up to a fight, I mean, you take massive confidence. I remember sparring Howard Eastman. People might not remember him, but he went on to challenge William Joppy for a world title. He fought Hopkins. And what I took away from sparring Howard Eastman was that actually, you know what, I might be able to do something at world level because I've just been in with him. And it was okay. So, yeah, massive confidence for him coming into this, sparring Alexander Usyk, especially after that win the other day.
And it does make a massive difference to a fighter's confidence when they're sparring with class, with world champions, because you think, if I can hold my home there,
isn't it?
Yeah, you think, if I can hold my home there, what can I do with people that are at my level? So, again, it's interesting. You know what? Funny enough, these two are small at cruiserweight, and they're units.
Yeah.
But you look at the guys out there now, and they're just they're units.
What are you reading into that, Johnny?
Nothing much. Listen, you've got two guys that have got their career on the line. There's no nonsense. You don't want to give anything away.